Among all the residents on Coronation Street to fall out with, choosing the woman who once pushed her own husband to his death is probably a terrible idea. Yet Lauren Bolton does exactly that when she clashes with Maggie Driscoll. Goodbye, love. It was nice while it lasted. From the moment she arrived on the cobbles, Maggie made it obvious that she fiercely protects her family. When the bold new landlady of the Rovers' return wasn't serving drinks, she was busy exchanging sharp insults with her co-owner, her son's wife, and longtime rival Eva Price, whom she firmly believes is not worthy of her son Ben. Now, Maggie has set her sights on another person she disapproves of, as she takes issue with her grandson Ollie's interest in Lauren, the barmaid at the Rovers. The pair have been circling each other for quite some time, sharing playful banter across the bar, until Ollie finally works up the courage to ask Lauren out, much to her delight. However, Lauren should be careful. Maggie has proven she will go to extreme lengths to protect her family. She once covered up an incident where her grandson violently attacked Daniel in a fit of jealousy. She also publicly embarrassed Eva by exposing a deeply personal secret in front of family and guests. And let's not forget, she was responsible for her husband's death. A special Christmas episode last year revealed that during a heated argument about her affair, Maggie pushed her husband Alan down the stairs after he accused her of being manipulative and controlling. For many years, she has insisted his death was nothing more than a tragic accident, hiding the truth for decades under the excuse of protecting her family. Lauren should be very worried. Extremely worried. In upcoming scenes, Maggie interferes in her grandson's developing romance, doing what she does best, casting doubt and stirring trouble. When Ollie invites Lauren to dinner at the bistro, she is thrilled. But Maggie quickly interferes, delivering a subtle threat and reminding Lauren that her job exists because of her. Shaken by Maggie's harsh words, Lauren is left heartbroken. Will she still decide to go on the date? Coronation Street death mystery revealed as viewers notice a major hint. Fans of Coronation Street believe they have figured out which character dies in the upcoming flash-forward plot. Earlier today, the ITV soap announced 5 characters who could potentially be murdered. It has been confirmed that Carl Webster, Megan Walsh, Theo Silverton, Maggie Driscoll, and Jodie Ramsey are all in danger, following earlier comments from producer Kate Brooks about a special episode arriving in mid-February. The storyline will feature the discovery of a body, but whose life will be lost. The episode puts several characters at risk of a deadly attack, yet many viewers are convinced that Megan will be the one to suffer a brutal fate. Previously, an insider from the show shared that Megan Walsh is entangled in deception as she continues manipulating the vulnerable teenager Will Driscoll. They also hinted that the truth may soon be revealed and questioned whether someone might think she deserves to die because of her actions. Now, sharp-eyed fans have spotted fireworks appearing in the flash-forward scenes and suspect this detail could be an important clue. One viewer commented that they would be upset if Megan is the victim, as they would rather see her face justice for her crimes, especially since there has already been at least one victim before Will. The show's newest antagonist, Megan, played by Beth Dixon, had already been on track to become one of the most hated characters in the country. Coronation Street fans believe they have uncovered a key detail about Lisa Swain and Carla Connor's wedding after spotting a clue linked to Betsy Swain. Viewers are convinced they've figured out an important element of the ceremony alongside the fireworks that echoed across the cobbles in a flash-forward scene hinting at the big day. Supporters of the couple, fondly nicknamed Swarla, were thrilled to learn that the pair are set to tie the knot this spring after rekindling their relationship. Their reunion followed the return of Lisa's former partner Becky Swain, who attempted to disrupt their romance. Although their relationship has faced plenty of drama in recent months, it now seems their wedding plans will go smoothly, at least at first. However, their special day is expected to end on a shocking note when Lisa's daughter, Betsy Swain, discovers a dead body on the cobbles. In the episode aired on Monday, February 16th, viewers were taken forward in time to April 23, 2026. During these scenes, a distressed Betsy is questioned by police after finding a corpse on the evening of her mother's wedding to Carla Connor. While being interrogated, Betsy explains that she had been heading out after the celebration but returned home after realizing she had forgotten her ID, which is when she stumbled upon the victim. As the storyline shifted back to the present, audiences began to see how the actions of several characters could lead to a deadly outcome 2 months later. It was revealed that Megan Walsh, Theo Silverton, Maggie Driscoll, Jodie Ramsey, and Carl Webster are all possible victims in the upcoming murder storyline, with each having potential motives tied to their fate. At the end of the episode, the show once again jumped forward to April 23rd, where all 5 characters are seen on the cobbles as fireworks from the wedding illuminate the night sky. As the lights flash, Carl appears beaten and injured, Jodie looks panicked, Maggie gives off a threatening presence, Megan is seen with a bloodied nose, and Theo behaves suspiciously as they all gaze into the darkness. Meanwhile, viewers could hear Betsy speaking, seemingly to Lauren, before letting out a terrified scream upon making her grim discovery. It was also during a drunken conversation with Lauren that Betsy was heard singing, and fans now believe the song she performed could be a hint toward the track chosen for Lisa and Carla's first dance. Bernie is put under intense pressure as she faces police questioning. Kit goes to see Bernie in her holding cell, where she insists that she is completely innocent. During her interview, Bernie explains to DC Browning that she spent an evening with Mal purely as friends, but claims he has been following and bothering her ever since. The question remains, can her story be trusted? Meanwhile, a man arrives at the funeral home and introduces himself as Damien, the son of Mrs. Ripley. He expresses his gratitude to George for agreeing to handle his mother's funeral arrangements. However, as George and Christina show him out, Annie steps in and warns him that the business cannot be relied upon. Taking her advice seriously, Damien decides to take his arrangements elsewhere. Elsewhere, Jodie tries to stir trouble by setting David up, making it appear as though he has neglected his responsibilities so that Shona will doubt him. At the cafe, a discouraged Shona opens up to Bethany, admitting that she and David barely spend any time together lately. Bethany then comes up with a possible solution. In another storyline, Steve tells Cassie that he plans to stop worrying about his father because he already has everything he needs, a caring partner and a wonderful daughter. Later, at the cab office, Mary happily tells Tim that Cassie is organizing a big surprise for Steve the following day. Coronation Street Steve is hit with devastating news as a major death storyline unfolds. Steve McDonald is left stunned next week when he learns that his father, Jim, is nearing the end of his life. As the two have been distant for years, Steve is faced with a difficult decision about whether to reconcile before it's too late. Jim was last seen on the ITV soap back in 2018, but upcoming episodes will confirm his death off-screen, bringing a permanent end to any possible return. An insider from the show explained that during his last appearance in Weatherfield, Jim attempted a disturbing scam by falsely claiming that Steve's late sister Katie was still alive, which explains why Steve feels no urgency to be by his father's side. However, the source also pointed out that family ties can be complicated, leaving Steve questioning whether he might regret not making peace. Steve's partner, Cassie Plummer, encourages him to take the chance to say a final goodbye. Although conflicted, Steve eventually decides to go, but his plans are interrupted when his car battery dies, making him wonder if it's a sign. A neighbor, Ben Driscoll, steps in to help, yet Steve continues to hesitate about what to do. It remains uncertain whether Steve will visit his father, but Jim appears eager to reconnect, especially when Steve later misses a call from him during a night out. Once he recovers from his hangover, Steve insists that he is ready to move on and leave his father in the past. Meanwhile, Cassie prepares a thoughtful surprise to cheer him up, but it is unclear whether Steve can truly escape the emotional weight of his relationship with Jim. Earlier in the month, reports surfaced that the show's producers intended to write Jim out permanently, and the actor who portrayed him later confirmed on social media that he had been informed some time ago. Coronation Street continues to air on weekday evenings at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available for streaming on ITVX.